I'm Steph. I originally lived in Leeds and moved to Wakefield just before having my first son, Andre. So literally moved in the June, had Andre in July, had no real conception or understanding of which areas to live in, etc. Just fell in love with the property really and the area. And didn't really know Wakefield very well either, to be honest, which was quite daunting, thinking actually I'm going to start a family here, what sort of community sort of vibe there would be, but also what support there would be for a new parent as well. I'm married to a lovely gentleman called Pepe, and he had the same reservations as well, namely because in Leeds I have my sister who lives in Leeds. I know Leeds and Wakefield, it's not too far, but from timing door to door in terms of where she lives to where we live now, good 50 minutes drive. So in terms of like emergencies or things like that, there was the type of things that were probably our reservations. But I'm a big believer in sort of things happening for a reason. The property that we live in is from door to door, walking is 8 minutes. I've timed this just in case I don't have access to a car. Door to door, 8 minutes from my house to St George's. And I was introduced to St George's and all of the different wonderful sort of workshops and people that can support parents through a lady called Anne-Marie. So I'd started doing some sort of baby classes, I think when Andre was about 4 or 5 months, and a lady that I'd met at one of those classes had said, "You've got to meet this woman, Anne-Marie, she's amazing. She knows so many different groups and different supporting mechanisms for new parents. She's incredibly familiar with Wakefield as well, and she also runs classes." So I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Again, those classes are really accessible for individuals who potentially may not have a great amount of financial, stability. The classes were pay as you feel. So again, we'd put in £1 in for those classes if you felt comfortable to do so. But also there were people in those classes as well. There was a mum there that was in a wheelchair. There were people from different communities as well. So for somebody who was kind of new to the area, I just found it incredibly inclusive to have that environment. And Anne-Marie is just a big reflection of St George's in general, because that's been the experience I've had throughout. So from when my son was 5 months to now when he's almost turning 3, we've gone pretty much full circle. We've gone through the sort of like baby massage and the sort of stay and play classes with Anne-Marie, which is all looped in with St George's, to also having transitioned across to nursery here. So as soon as Anne-Marie became sort of part of our, I always say it's part of our little family, we were asking for recommendations for nurseries, and she was like, "This is a really great one. So do your diligence and to shop around so you've got comparisons, but you will love it here." And she was absolutely right. We did shop around, and there was just an instant feel of like a community and like just staff caring, honesty as well, and that just little things like the menu, the cook, the rooms, the key workers, the leaders of those rooms, everybody just made our initial visits it just seemed perfect in terms of what we were looking for. And yeah, we haven't looked back. So Andre is now coming up to 3. He's moved from baby room to like the next room on. I can't remember the name of the next room on, but next room on with wonderful Janice, and then now is in a room just before it's going to sort of preschool room as well. So all the time has gone so quickly. But what I would say is, I just feel really, really lucky. Regardless of how much you trust individuals, your child is your child, isn't it? Especially if it's your first. And there's been times where I've, needed advice and guidance on sort of disciplining, or, at the minute I'm asking advice for potty training, because, again, it's an area that, again, I've never, delved into. You can go down like a black hole of Google, but these individuals do it on a day-to-day basis, and they're so personable. They know Andre as well. So they give like real sort of nuanced handheld approaches to everything. And that's been through, being picky eating, through, the little bits of like pushing and grabbing that the kids do and that learn and stuff. So that's been incredibly useful. And yeah, I'm now expecting my second, and instantly I was like, please make sure there's space at St George's for the little girl that's due to come. So I'm really excited about that, and luckily I have got a space. And I've made loads of friends through this whole process as well. So in that initial group that I started when Andre was like 5 months, there's probably about 4 or 5 mums that have transitioned across over to nursery mums now, friends, and we've got, got a WhatsApp group and things like that. But we're all, we have similar conversations like, we're really lucky. Has anybody experienced X, Y, and Z with their children? And most of the advice is just go and ask, the room leader or something, because they're the experts, which is, for me, sort of reassuring, because I know that I'm kind of the person that can be quite trusting of individuals, but to have that reflected in everybody that's experienced St George's, I think that's a reflection of this place as well.